And we are back once again on Yankees Hot Stove. Kevin Long's title is Yankees hitting coach, but perhaps some players would refer to him as a guru, others a soothsayer, and maybe even to others, the bat whisperer. Kevin's back with the team this season, and he joins us now on the phone. Kevin, good to have you with us on Yankees Hot Stove. I guess we could add frequent flyer to that list of potential nicknames for you. One of your hallmarks is visiting a lot of players in the offseason and working with them. Who have you visited and worked with so far?
Well, so far, A-Rod, we worked with him in early December. We got to Nick Swisher, Colin Curtis, Mark Teixeira will be this week, Derek Jeter the following week, and hopefully I can run into Jorge Posada and Russell Martin. Talked to Brett Gardner also, and he's healing well from his surgery, and hopefully I'll get to see him before camp starts.
Kevin, I'm curious as to why you choose to visit your hitters in the off-season. I don't think it's something that's very common in the industry. You don't hear about hitting instructors going out in December and January when they could just as easily wait until February. Can you talk about the advantages of getting this early start? Yeah,
I think there's always ways to get better, and there's always areas that we can attack and become more efficient as hitters. And obviously, as a hitting coach, I feel the importance of getting, obviously, some extra time with these guys where we don't have to take necessarily what we work on and take it into the game. We can kind of come up with a game plan, kind of attack some deficiencies, and it gives them some time that they can kind of work not only by themselves but with me on what these deficiencies are, and then ultimately come into spring training a little bit ahead of the game.
Kevin, one of the players that you mentioned that you're going to work with is Derek Jeter, and we know in his own estimation he has said he had a subpar season. We know how hard Jeter works in the offseason, but this is really the first time that you guys will be getting together before spring training. I think it's the first time he's ever gotten together with a hitting coach. What is the relevance of that for him, and what are the things you want to work on with him?
Well, a lot of it has been Derek Jeter's greatness. He's been so good, and I've really not felt a need to go see him and to talk to him about his swing. I mean, it's been so efficient and so good for so many years. But after a year where he doesn't feel like his numbers were where they needed to be, and certainly I think they can get better. This calls for that time, and Derek's up for it, and I'm up for it, and it can't hurt. That's for sure.
Kevin, is your philosophy for working with hitters, even these superstar players, is it pretty much built on the same principles for every guy, or just as their swings are so different, do you really have to sort of tailor-make the discussion and the breakdown to each guy so specifically?
Yeah, I think you're right on there. Every guy's going to be a little bit different in areas that we need to attack and we need to work. But the same basic principles will apply to every hitter. I want them to be athletic. I want them to be square. I want them to be in a good position on time, and I want them to stay connected with their backside and their hands. So a lot of the things that I talk to, and some of those might seem mechanical and a little sophisticated, but they're really not. And these guys, understand where I'm coming from and understand, that what we're trying to accomplish is only going to help them succeed.
Kevin, I'm curious how the logistics of this off-season operation goes. And do you go to an indoor batting cage, or do you just sit in front of films and break down frame by frame, or how do you actually improve somebody when you're not at a baseball facility?
Yeah, when we get to working on guys' swings, for instance, Swisher, we didn't look at any of his film from 2008 to 2000, or from 2009 to 2010. We had a very good idea of what we needed to attack. We just got in the cages and started grinding. Curtis Granderson, when we did some adjustments in Texas, same thing. Jeter and I did the same thing in Texas also. A lot of it, I can go to the film and just kind of confirm that what I see is right, and then basically it comes down and boils down to working in the cages and getting it done in there.
Kevin, a lot of your players have praised you for both your work ethic and your motivational skills, but I'm going to ask you to jump inside Jorge Posada's head right now and figure out, here's a guy who's used to playing every day, but this year it's obviously going to be DH role. How do you think he's going to adjust and adapt to that role?
Well, I hope he has some fun with it. He's the everyday grind of catching. I know that's what he wants to do, and I know deep down in his heart he still knows he can do that, and I'm not so sure that he can't, but, right now, he's being asked to DH, and it's going to be a different role, and it's going to be something that he's not accustomed to or used to. He's used to being the guy back there putting down the fingers and getting himself and the pitcher on the same page. But I think if he just has some fun with it, spends a little bit more time in the cages and not overanalyzing the swing, that I think he can be a big help and a big boost to our ball club. And we're going to need. I think if he hits the way he's capable of hitting, he's really going to help us in that role.
Well, Kevin, we certainly appreciate the time and the insight. We know where you've got to run, so we're going to let you go, but we look forward to spending time with you when we get down to Tampa.
I'll see you soon enough, fellas. Thanks a lot.